Here's some information about how you should operate your pool. Basic information. Those white fittings in the end, sometimes some pools have anywhere 10 to 12 of them, 2 to 12 of them actually. Those are return jets. This is the skimmer. You want to keep water, make sure water is always around halfway into that skimmer. That's called a skimmer throat. On top of this pool hadn't been poured yet, obviously, but on top of this, you'll see this inside there, down inside. There's a basket down there with a black handle. It seats down in there. You empty that, check that periodically. That pops right on there. Going around here to the pool equipment. This fitting down here on the bottom is that's what's called a water bond. It's just part of the electrical grounding system. This is your filter. Some filters are about 3 feet tall, some are about 4.5, 5 feet. This is the pool pump. It's going to be hard to make a video with LEDs because they flash like you're seeing right there. But I'll give you an idea what to look for here in a second. This is what's called your your pump basket strainer. You always want to inspect it periodically. Most of them have a tool we'll leave laying there. It goes in here, turns counterclockwise. Everything is lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. So as you're looking at it, everything goes to the left. Same thing on this filter, to the left. And regardless of what anything says up here, just always, if it's hard to get open, which they're going to be hard to get open, if they weren't hard to get open, then they wouldn't work. So you're going to want to tap it if you have a hard time getting it off. Put your feet on the bottom of these, a couple of spots. Try to put a couple your feet on there. Turn it by hand if you can't. You can use like the it's called magic lube on the threads if you want to do that, around the O-ring that's inside there. When you take it off, you can put that on there. We'll try to put it on for you initially, but always hit it here, go in this direction, lefty loosey, righty tighty. So left, you're taking it loose. Okay. This box up here, this will have the light in it. This is a transformer. This is the RGB controller. We'll leave a remote inside the box. That plugs into the GFCI circuit down there. So it has an app or the remote. You can scan this to get the app. The app has all kinds of neat additional features. The remote has basic features. The app has a timer on it. It's pretty cool. You can turn it on, set the timer, be done with that. So on your skimmer basket, going back to this real quick, you'll pull that out. I'm not going to mess with it. Take that loose, pull it out, tap it very lightly. Don't beat it. Either scrape it with your hand or tap it in there, or wash it out with a hose. But you always need to check that. You always need to check your skimmer basket over there that we talked about just a second ago. And what else? So you're going here. You can see in periodic, like I said, LEDs are weird, but on here, this is high and low, and then you'll see mode. The switch is high, low, and this is how you program it up and down. These first two numbers, this one right here is saying 359, so that means 4 hours on high, 3 hours 59 minutes at this particular time. Low is going to say low speed. This is a 2-speed pump, by the way. We start them on 4 hours high, 4 hours low, then 16 hours off. And if you just want to come over here and start it, hit this plate pause button, and it starts timing down. So this thing, technically what it does, I'm going to turn this back off. Technically what it does, it starts adjusting its time periodically. So it's going to run, with this timer, it's going to run 4 hours a day, set the way we have it now. 4 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 4 on high, 4 on low, and then 16 hours off. When you're running your pump, it's going to do this automatically, but if you ever need to manually turn it on, there it is. So that's letting you know your water flow. Here's a gauge. This gauge doesn't always indicate, stays around 5, but sometimes it'll get dirty. That's oil in the gauge, by the way, that liquid. But sometimes when it gets dirty, doesn't necessarily have pressure go up. You always want to watch the pressure. If the pressure's on 10, you need to clean this thing up. All right. So if you ever, when you pull the filter out to clean it, when you pull this filter ring off, there's a filter element inside there. When you pull that off to clean it, it's going to get air in the system a little bit, even though we have a backflow preventive valve inside here underground. But it's going to get some air in it. So when you take the cartridge out, wash off with a water hose, stick it back in there, tighten the lid down, turn the pump on, and then you'll turn this little lever to the left. It's bleeding air out. So right now it's bleeding this air out. When you see that water come out, you just turn it right back. So now that air's bled off the system. Okay. You don't see any air in here, which is a good sign. That means you got good seals everywhere. During the winter time, I always tell people you don't really need to winterize your equipment in Texas, because you do up north, but not in Texas. I mean, it's only going to get super cold usually for a week or 2 days or 3 days, once or twice a year in general. So it's best, I say, not to winterize this stuff. If you really want to, there's valves that you can drain all this out on the sides. There's one right here. You unscrew that. Once again, everything's lefty loosey, righty tighty. There's a thing to drain that. There's no reason to do that. Okay, what you do is you just, wintertime, you come over to your timer, you turn this number here, which is changing, you can't see it, you push that all the way up to 12, and as you push either one of these two numbers, it's going to change the bottom number, which is the stop. That's how long it's off. This is how long it's on low, this is how long it's on high. So you just keep pushing this, and what I say to do, or what I think should be done during the winter, just set it to low by pushing mode to get the low, or just sit here and hit that button, hit the positive button, go it all when it's freezing outside. This is only when it's freezing. Switch it all the way to 24. Okay, so that means it's going to run low speed for 24 hours a day. It's just going to keep running, keep running, keep running. Okay, so that keeps everything flowing, keeps it from freezing, and that's what you want to do. You want to make sure this water stays moving, kind of like people talk about when they drain their or when it's freezing, they say, run your water faucet on low. Same kind of deal. Just keep it running. Nothing will freeze. Okay. I think that's just the basic information right there. Oh yeah, I want to say this. On initial pool startup, we'll typically come over here after the concrete's done, vacuum everything up, and one time. But what's going to happen is all this dust and dirt that's around this entire pool over here is going to settle down again, even though we vacuumed it. So I'm going to give you a link to a cleaning robot, which is really cool, to throw in the pool, and runs across the bottom, vacuums it out, cleans up the debris. But what you want to do, this is if you have a salt cell system, or just either startup or the salt cell, either case. If you get a salt cell, salt chlorinator, don't turn it on, don't plug it in until all your chemicals are balanced. And here's the easiest way of doing this. After we clean it up, after the water settles, only going to take a day, you get a clean jar. You just go to Leslie's, and they'll give you Leslie's Pool Supply or the local pool supply. They're going to give you a little water bottle to come take a sample, or just get like a pickle jar or something like that, any kind of container. Make sure it's clean, obviously. Fill it up, take your water sample. This is initial startup. Take your water sample to Leslie's. They're going to test it. They're going to let them sell you everything to get it started. They'll tell you, they'll set up an account for you. They'll get everything set up in their system, your pool size, which you want to, on your pool size, basically on this one's a 20 by 10. So there's 12 million of them. Go to pool calculator, Google pool volume calculator, put in your dimensions. Is going to tell you approximately how many gallons are in here. So you tell Leslie's how many gallons you have. This pool has about 5,000, this 20 by 10, but every pool's different, obviously, based on dimensions. So Google that, figure out your pool volume on a pool volume calculator. Take the water sample to Leslie's. Leslie's going to sell you everything. Put it in there. After about 3 days, and they're going to tell you this, in about 3 days, take it back, and they're going to tell you what else you need to keep it that way. Now, if you get a floating chlorinator, if you have a salt cell, when your pool chemicals are balanced, that's when you're going to turn on your salt chlorinator, okay, when everything's balanced and ready to go. For those that don't have the salt cell, salt chlorinator, You just keep on running on down the road with going to Leslie's periodically with your test strip kits, and anything else, pull shock, chlorinator, all that stuff. So that's pretty much a basic rundown of this whole situation. And if you have any questions, you can of course text us and we'll figure it out. But that's it.